sneaky place to sit up. I don't know, maybe up here, maybe on that edge bug over there. There are a lot of places for Spy to just sit with Cloak and Dagger. We're going to talk about the flank. We're going to talk about what the combo is doing. We're going to talk about the engineer. So typically,
Oh,
a lot of teams want to put a sentry gun and a dispenser in here. You really don't need it. Your NG doesn't need to be doing this. It's kind of just a waste of time, in my opinion. Your demo, your medic, well, maybe your medic's more like over here. Your demo, your pyro, and your heavy, and your sniper are going to kind of be in tonal. Who's allowed to be out here sometimes until they push them back? The soldier and the scout get to be up here having fun.
question.
Spy gets to do whatever. Now, your soldier and your scout aren't restrained to only the shed over there, whatever. They can come into the house. They could be hiding in maintenance. I'll go over callouts actually after I'm done talking about first, because it is a throwaway point, but it's a long way for the cart to go. When it's here's some yellow tape. This is really important. Um, your spy can really, if it's only one person pushing the cart, or notices that like your sniper starts picking off these guys here, you could honestly stop the cart here and it will roll all the way back down. But keep in mind, you don't want to be dying on defense, so you really don't want to put any of your valuable players, like, not to say that the soldier, the spy, and the scout aren't valuable players. It's more of just like them dying versus your medic dying is a huge difference. So typically, your demo, your pyro, and your sniper, and them are all going to be kind of playing in this tunnel. And our goal is to, until the cart gets to about here, I'd say, when it comes to this little bend to get to this little hill, little slope, whatever. That's when we want to leave, because as soon as this is captured by blue team, this shutter opens up. Well, this door gets removed. This shutter, because there's a shutter in here, guys, opens up. I know we've all played Swiftwater, so I don't need to show you. But typically, how Highlander is played is once they take first, the combo plays in Shutter, and the flank, such as the offensive engineer, offensive spy, offensive scout, and Soli, they come in to try to push this cart and get it out here because there's going to be a gun. So before I go over any more, let's go over callouts. There really isn't that many, to be honest. In this first point, you can call this like house, the quick shot, if you want to, if you have, I don't know, maybe the textures are low and you can't see these decals. I don't really care, but this is called maintenance. This is an actual call out. You got like the ravine, the river, the stream. I don't really know what people call it these days. I've heard so many different people. You can really just call this log. I mean, you're not really going to be using as many of these callouts here because nothing really happens on first other than just a a fight. Like the blue team's kind of sacking in and the red team's kind of just peppering them as best they can. This is tunnel or cave. Um, this is main tunnel. So like, and this is side tunnel. Okay, so we understand this is side tunnel. This is like the main tunnel where the cart goes through. Um, we have apartments. Apartments is referring to this whole building, even the lower part. This is all apartments. This is where the defensive combo is going to rotate back when the cart's about to cap first. They're going to rotate into here. You're going to have your sentry gun on the catwalk. Typically right there is the best spot. You're going to have a dispenser there. Don't want to put it too close to this door because, believe it or not, demo men will be spamming back and forth on both sides, and if splash damage lands here, or and it starts damaging your dispenser, that's just lame. Your heavy is going to be playing here. There's going to be a teleporter as well. Your sniper can play on the stairs to take an SVS. He can play on these stairs to look at main tunnel. But if he leaves the apartments, he's kind of fucked by the spy, and that's just apparent. Can't be expected to be protected by anyone on defense sniper if you're not in the apartments or where the combo is holding. The flank players will not be protecting you. But
Can I stand on the bridge up there for like a quick second, or then
I don't
drop
know what
back?
you're trying to see. They'll see your feet before you see them.
Ah,
But you understand the problem there?
yes.
However, your main concern is really taking the SVS through the shutter. Now, you don't necessarily have to, but um, it it is something that's kind of not in your favor because they can open up the shutter at will. But they also, if the heavy or whoever may be opening the shutter doesn't open it up fast enough or keeps it open too long, you can get some cheeky shots on people. Now, if you're going to be down here, you kind of have to watch by for yourself. But in apartments, you're mainly focusing on the cart. I've seen snipers play underneath the catwalk. I've seen snipers play over here. It's not as if you can't do it. It's just know that, like, if you're not here guarding this shutter or you're not here guarding this main entrance, like through apartments, you're giving up so much pressure that you have. Um, the problem is this is a spam angle. You're gonna take damage, and you need to know not to just stand still and collect all 4 pipes from the demo man. Um,
Yeah.
Now this is mansion. This area here, there's a funny spot spies like to do is just here. I mean, sometimes there's a defense sniper here, a cheeky one. I don't know. Um, I've seen like really dumb, like, okay, I'm probably not gonna be able to make it as demo man, but I assure you, or I almost made it, but you can definitely make that as sniper. I don't know, stand on the little pipes or something weird. But this is the truck. There's not that many callouts. Like I said, the mansion, the apartments, the side tunnel, the main tunnel, catwalk, shutter. Um, it's very simple. Now, when second is captured, this door opens up, this door opens up. A lot of doors open up, okay? And they lead to specific spots. This is called IT. I don't know. Technical stuff here. Complain if you want. This is IT. Um, this, what my team likes to call, is Death Hallway. Now, some people call it Octagon, but that's a hexagon, so I'm like, the fuck? And, because this shutter can be open. Now, I think you have to come a little bit closer, but the sniper can see all the way through this door, all the way back here. We call it Death Hallway for a reason, because the second you peek it, like, if the enemy sniper is there on defense, you kind of die. So IT is kind of scary sometimes, but IT is where your demo and your medic and your pyro need to be holding. Unfortunately, that's the state of the game. Sometimes your sniper comes in here. It's really cool. Um, Main thing is right here, this sort of like horizontal hallway. We're not going to also call it hallway because that would be ridiculous. This is actually called windows, what my team like to call it, because there's like a window. I know it's a door frame, but we call it a window, a window, a window, windows. Okay. This is a boiler room. These giant gray cylinders, boiler room. Um, it's cool. And then upper. I don't know. You don't really even. I don't even think you need to call out or say what this is or under this. I mean, you can say under second, above second. I don't know. There or sorry, third. Not really too many callouts there. But like I said, there's IT, which is this room. You have the death hallway, which kind of like is this just long sight line. That's all it's referring to. You have windows, which is like this hallway right here, and then when you come into here, this is boiler room. There is drop down. This is a drop down. This is a call out, but I've never seen anyone use it other than the spy. Maybe a cheeky sniper will drop down here once in a while and get his head shot off. I don't care. This is garage. Uh, this is the shutter, obviously. Haha. Whoa, shutter. Okay. Um, you got trash pile. My team likes to call this little weird area trash pile. It's not really an actual call out, but my team have referred to it and used it in our games. If something's that trash pile, it's that trash pile. Um, you I like to also call this like catwalk. I know we're using the same call out. It's funny, but hey, there's only one here, so we might as well use it again. Um, I think people refer to this as like backyard, but I don't ever see people using this call out at all. It's mainly obviously it says garage there, so that's why that's called garage. This is just main. You got the ramp, whatever. You got vents. vents. We got red room. This room. Don't call this IT. This is red room. I guess they named this one red room. Um, and then you have for last you have window and paint or paint can. Why would we call this one paint can and this one window? What's the purpose of that?
So you can differentiate the two.
Yes, it's very important when we need to be saying, hey, where are they, or which, if you tell your sniper he's window, but they're right here next to the paint can, your sniper's gonna die. So this is why we call this. There's a paint bucket right here. We call it paint. You don't even have to say can. You just have to say paint. This is this little area right here. It is referring to the window itself of paint, but it's also this whole room is paint. Keep that in mind. This is the window where the heavy does the funny head glitch. Um, like I said, you got vents. You don't really call this area anything. There's really not that many callouts. Like I keep repeating myself. Um, I guess you could call this tower. It's just not really ever used. That's the problem. Yeah, I think second is the most call intensive spot, and the reason why we even have callouts is just to like positions, like so we can see where they are and how we can respond to them. Now, what do you call it? Let's go back to talking about defense.
Oh fuck.
So typically, hold on, did the NG join? No, NG's not here.
Oh, I
Sorry.
joined.
But typically your combo needs to leave, including your sniper. Your flank player should not die if they're playing first, if they want to play up on the shed, if they want to, hide someone in the house, hide someone in maintenance, that's fine. But know that a late death is really bad because the flank players are kind of there just to stop fast bombs because a lot of teams will fast bomb over the shed and try to get spam onto your entrance of the tunnel. So your soldier and your scout try to live and try to get back into cave by the time the cart's getting like right here and your team is rotating out. You want to be up and alive in here because if you're not here, you're dead. Your combo's going to apartments. Usually it's only your spy then, and spy can't stop everyone on the cart, unfortunately. But your whole goal as like defense as flank is to stop the cart as much as you can and control tunnel. But if you are forced out of tunnel, you do not have to own tunnel. You just have to make sure that no one's here and no one's here getting angles on your combo or your gun in specifically. A lot of times, NGs will wrangle their mini sentry at your gun. Soldiers will spam here and shoot rockets at your gun. A sniper will come here and fully charge at your gun. A spy will do some funny thing in the back. You don't really have to worry about the spy, but if you see him, kill him, obviously. A sniper will try to get here inside tunnel, and he'll try to snipe someone up there. So, really, the flank's job is to stay alive and prevent people from getting sightlines and doing sneaky plays to affect your combo because your combo is fighting their own battle itself. Second, Swiftwater is really hard because both of your flank and your combo are disjointed, but for both teams usually. Not to say that there's never been a team that has pushed through main. Even my team has done it through the tunnel. But typically, the combo is fighting the other combo in shutter, while the flanks are fighting each other in the tunnel. So, like I said for defense, Nurse, this corner is you. Are we clear? This is just where you gotta be on Swiftwater. Um, Second, you can heal your demo, and I guarantee you, if you put the beam on your demo and they walk over here, the beam goes through the stairs. It's kind of cool. But typically, your pyro is going to be up here. Your pyro can be down here, just might take more spam. Your NG is up here. Your heavy's here. Maybe your pyro's next to the dispenser. Your demo's down here. Your sniper's there. Your medic's there. So you have a lot of people in apartments. Typically most of your players are in apartments and they're all serving as a specific role. Now, oftentimes the offensive team is trying to run in here with sacks through the shutter, and they are hoping that your medic uses the Uber charge. So we need to be really clear on comms. You cannot say they use when they flog in. You need to make sure that they said, oh, they are flogging in, or are they Uber-charging a flog in? There is a difference. If they're just sacking a pyro, giving him a buff, making him use Phlogiston and run through Shutter, yes, Phlogiston is used on this map quite often. But the whole goal of these enemy players when they're sacking through the Shutter is to get your medic to use. So we really want to prevent that from happening. We need to make sure that we are aware of things inside tunnel. We need to make sure that we know they're Uber charged. Typically how a Uber exchange will happen in here, if it's in your favor and the blue team is just used in, Nurse and Trakar, you need to now communicate to each other. Forget your demo. He does not matter anymore in this Uber exchange. Trakar, you need to assess the situation and call for the Uber. Typically, Pyro calls for the Uber in second in apartments alone. On defensive, that's wise. Not on offense, on defense. Because you're usually the front man right here. You know what's going on. Do you need Uber charge to defend this? Or can you just simply air blast them, leech some heals? You can tell when your medic needs to use. Have they just used in? Your whole goal, Trakar, is to stand in this door frame and do not move from the door frame. I don't care if 7 people right here are all shiny or there. You can't let them seep into apartments. I don't care if they jump out of the window. There's a sentry gun here, and they're probably going to instantly die. Your goal isn't even to damage these guys. Your goal is just to prevent them from coming into apartments to scare your team. You don't want people flooding through this choke right here. This choke is your heaven on defense. This is like Dust Bowl and comp. It's so good for defense. You want them to be trapped in here as long as possible and to waste most of their time in here. Yes, the enemy pyro, if he's not on flog, he can try to air blast you away, but your whole goal is to keep as many of them in here until their Uber fades. And you only want to be using on your pyro. You don't want to use on your heavy. You don't want to use on your demo. You don't want to use on your engineer or your sniper. You only want to use on your pyro. However, if your pyro dies, that's a whole different situation. Now, what happens in these fights? Typically, the pyro will be here fully charged with the medic. Your sniper and demo will be kind of out of the fight. Your heavy cannot, and I repeat this, cannot take any damage and will be hiding here. Your engineer is going to be trying to save his gun. Most likely his gun's going to go down of some sort, either because of the flanks also spamming it, or this thing starts putting all their damage into the gun. It's not your NG's fault. It's just typically that's what happens with these Swiftwater pushes, but that's good. Okay, let's explain the state of the game. So, if your sentry gun is already destroyed before the offensive team pushes, that is extremely bad. Because now they get to ignore the gun. They're hoping that the flank team can kill the gun before the their combo needs to push in. But typically, if your gun is here, what is the downside to an Uber charge? What is the one thing that is the downside to an Uber charge? Does anyone know?
It only lasts 8 seconds.
Yes, time. 8 seconds. However, if they start flashing people, it drains at an accelerated rate. You are right, it only lasts 8 seconds. It can last shorter if they start spamming people with the flashes. Now, what is the purpose of a sentry gun? Does anyone know?
To lock down the point.
You're sort of
Just
right.
to waste time.
Waste time, right there. Oh my god, you are so smart. A sentry gun, yes, it watches cart. You are correct in a sense that it stops point from stuff, it happens. But the reason it stops the point isn't because it puts out 1 jillion damage or it has auto aim to target the enemy color. No. The reason it stops the point from happening or getting pushed is because they now have to put time into destroying this static object. Okay? You have to put time and effort to take down the gun. And in payload, every second matters. And if that is all the gun is doing is stalling them, your gun is doing everything it needs to be doing. It doesn't need to kill things. It doesn't even need to punish anyone for overextending. Your gun's whole purpose and payload, your level 3, is to delay them, to stop them. It's there to make so that they have to spend time to destroy this thing. Because if left unchecked, yes, a level 3 gun will start shredding through a lot of players really fast if no one shoots it. That is correct. But its whole purpose is to stop time. So, blue team, when they get arrogant and cocky and they want to use their Uber through the shutter, they need to waste time destroying the gun. Typically, how they overcome this obstacle is they have their flank try to destroy the gun before the Uber, or they have their spy hiding somewhere on catwalk. Make sure to check catwalk periodically. A lot of spies like to hide right here. I don't know. A lot of spies will be hiding near the end, or they'll be hiding in mansion, or they'll be hiding over there. And they will come in for a sap, and right as when they're pushing, so that really, like, your demo and your sniper can really focus on supporting the gun and the defensive Uber. Like, yeah, demo can just spam here, but a lot of players are going to be flashed, and they might not even have any unflashed players in there, so might as well protect the gun a little bit more. Try to help keep people from rushing at the gun, and stuff like that. NG needs support. That's just how his class works. He's pretty good at what he does, but just like Medic, they kind of suck without a teammate. So think about that. Now, during this whole Uber exchange, we're trying to make sure that their Uber ends in here, and we don't want their Uber to be in here at all. And then when that happens, now we need to play post-Uber exchange. I'm sure we all aware how drastically the fight changes when those Ubers go away and which team gets to still have their Uber longer. I'm sure you guys are all aware of this game state. Now, why is my heavy back in this corner hiding? What's the point? Does anyone know? He's not taking damage. That's a hint.
The heavy to stay alive?
Yes, there's a specific reason to why the heavy would be here.
If the medic needs to Uber and the pyro's dead?
No. Okay. So, the heavy weapons guy, the heavy class, can get buffed from standing right here and the meds in the corner. That's apparent. But the heavy does nothing in an Uber exchange. I mean, sure, if you want someone to just take damage, but there's no reason for a heavy to be there to just absorb damage. The heavy doesn't need to be there. Your heavy will probably wait in here, and when the Uber is done, nurse, it is your responsibility to give this behemoth its crit heals. The reason it didn't take any damage and the reason it has stayed out of sight is because so that it can come in with a 450 buff from the med and it shreds people. Like, now they have to put 450 health, like, damage into this after the Uber. Their one thing that stops damage, the 8 seconds of vulnerability, is now up. Now they take damage, and now they have to coordinate 450 damage at this. While there's still a pyro, a medic, a demo in here, a sniper in here, and an NG, and maybe he still has his gun. This heavy is so important in the post-fight. It is so important that the heavy doesn't take any damage, that the heavy can just simply wait for them to come through that door or come near there, and then if Jakar's like, hey, they're all trapped in the shutter, no one's opening it, and there's a whole bunch of people, I'm a pyro, if I walk into them, I'm kind of going to get shredded, you know, then I rotate my heavy here, my heavy puts out the damage, and they all die. My demo starts putting out the damage, and softens them up. Like, we can rotate our players during a fight. Just know that, like, Jakar, you have served your purpose. Yes, I'm not saying you can't just walk into them and WM1 on them all and burn them all. That does some damage. But remember that if you know that, like, if you can make the judgment and be like, wow, if I do walk into these 5 people right now, I'm no longer Ubered or I'm about to lose Uber charge, they're going to shred me and kill me. Let's switch to our heavy to be the front guy and start supporting, you know. We can do that. Now, second, apartments is the most difficult thing for the offense to take and it also can feel like the most difficult thing for the defense to hold. And it doesn't make sense, but that's just like the the Swiftwater. It's so dumb. Like, uh, it is extremely favorable for the defense if they are doing it right. Their combo knows how to manage Ubers, manage players, and stuff like that. Now, remember, there's going to be a telly for your combo people here. Typically, what I'll teach Woke your NG to do is put the telly in the exit to the last. Why would I not put the telly out the front gate? Well, there's a class called the Spy, and he can take the telly and telly frag the heavy, and also just stab the heavy if the heavy's not on, and then stab someone else. We don't really want a sneaky Frenchman coming into our base, so that is why we put the telly back there. Typically, now, your flank players, your scout and your soldier need to be in sync. Nova and Dot, you guys have to actually work together on the flank, and actually communicate to each other. You need to know that, like, as much as you both can probably frag, you guys are really weak one by one, and really, now, I would suggest running conch or battalions, and really, once you have conch, have your NG, or not NG, sorry, have your scout with you, soldier, so you can come in here. Your spy, typically on defense second, spy, you're really trying to help the your flank, your scout and your soldier, because it's not an even fight for them at all. They're at a disadvantage on defense. However, your priority, yes, if you can get to the combo and stab the combo or stab the medic or stab the sniper, whoopee, good. That's good. You realize the opportunity, yes. But if you can't do that, and let's say they're up here in the shutter and you just can't get anything done here, they're blocking the door, I don't know. Just you literally can't really do much. You're just wasting time there. Understand that stabbing the soldier is extremely good. And that alone can win you your flank, the fight. The soldier is the power of flank. The soldier needs to take the pack over the scout, or vice versa if the scout's super low. But remember, your soldier and your scout need to be alive. Now, if you guys can't successfully hold in cave, remember, playing here, watching both entrances is also fine for your flank if you guys eventually get pushed out of the tunnel. Obviously, you always want to try to hold the tunnel as long as possible, but if you know you're going to get pushed out, your main goal is to stop people from coming in for cheeky angles on your sentry gun, on your players up there, from both of these angles. If Spy's over in Mansion, as much as your NG may be screaming for someone to help, you can't really run away from the flank, so it's not really your problem, unfortunately. Now, any questions about second defense that I may have missed? Or
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is just a general question. What happens if they are absolute idiots and they decide to all rush main?
We keep our players on the high ground. We keep our sentry up. We make sure one person's at least watching shutter. Maybe our pyro. Maybe our pyro can just stand here, and pyro can't really do much from up here. But our demo and our heavy and our sniper can just rain hell down here. You know, if they do want to push through here, they're susceptible to sniper. I mean, you just have to really, like, your spy has to call this out, really, and communicate, hey, they are not going through shutter, their medic and their combo is in tunnel. And then, like, once you notice that your team is fighting it, you know, you go in for some stabs, Nighthawk, but really, tunnel isn't, like, it's not impossible to push through main tunnel, and I'm not saying you guys can't try it, it's just generally not the meta. There's a whole bunch of reasons, because you're fighting this fight with them automatically on the high ground, and once your Uber fades, you'll start dropping players like crazy. As long as the defense team is smart and they stay up top. You can, once the Uber is finished, let's say your heavy wants to jump down, that's fine. Like, you can, once it's done, your heavy could, but just remember, the more people you take away from apartments, the easier it is for this team to take apartments from you. So be careful on that. You don't want to lose your players in apartments. So really, yes, if the cart starts coming down here, yes, we need to stop watching the shutter and start focusing the cart. That's apparent. But cart time is the most important thing of payload. Everyone on the team should be able to understand where the cart is at all times. You can see it through walls. You can communicate where it is. Not that hard. Any more questions about the funny second defense-wise? Any class-specific questions? Before we move on to third? No? Okay. Well, now, with every point, you have to be able to leave before they cap. In this case, not so much. I mean, yes, it is important because they'll start walking you, but this door does open, so if you guys do get trapped in here, remember you can just, as the combo, take this door and come into IT, that's fine. But typically, if you know you're losing, like you lose apartments and all your players are kind of scattered by the truck, you can just leave through the tracks, jump up here, I don't know, go under, take the stairs, and sort of situate yourself here. On defense third, there is once again, the players are separated. Funny, the flank and the combo have not seen each other in years at this point. The demo man is going to be placing sticks here. Placing sticks here. Placing sticks here. Be careful. There's always sticks in IT. We die if we walk in on offense if we're not looking. But we're talking about defense. Your pyro and your medic can play here. I mean, typically, your NG is going to have a dispenser here, and the gun's going to be, like, right here. Please correct your NG if he puts it somewhere else, and tell him dentist said so. I don't give a shit if he disagrees. But we can have our sniper playing by the gun to really focus on making sure the enemy sniper. In this case scenario, you want to be taking the SBS, Tim, as much as possible, and just shutting them down. Because unfortunately, like, okay, it's not only your job, but like you really, like, you and the pyro are kind of supporting the NG in two different ways. Your pyro is supporting, obviously, yes, spy, but reflecting projectiles, reflecting damage, absorbing damage, etc. You, on the other hand, you're making sure nothing in these windows are peeking at you, shooting stuff. Your flank team is also helping you by their goal is to take boiler room as defense on red. Take boiler room. A lot of times I see them playing in the windows, playing on these little railings or whatever. Like as a scout, you can just double jump across here, and then you can double jump onto the little roofs thingies. I see the soldier and the scout. Oh, whoops, I'm bad. I see the soldier and the scout often playing around these packs. You can wait for arrows over here sometimes, as long as the sniper's dead and people are looking at the medic. But really, the soldier and scout, you guys are making sure the sniper does not get in here. That is your prime target. The sniper cannot be in windows. The sniper cannot be in boiler room. If he's fuck all somewhere else over here, you don't really give a shit. But you cannot let him get an angle onto your gun, onto your people in IT, onto your people on here. So really, we need to make sure that sniper is kept in check as the flank. It's okay if you guys die to the NG, the scout, and the soldier in here, but your main goal is to kill that fucking sniper as much as possible. But obviously dying is bad. So, IT's going on. You're heavy. Now, I haven't talked about the heavy. He's on here. He likes to sit on this. We're like, how's the heavy get there? Well, before even the fucking second gets captured, you can just jump through this window and then jump. Oh, whoops, I'm bad. But if I wasn't bad at this game, I'd do it right. Or you can just drop down like this. That's another way. But oh, I'm bad again. But besides the point, he's mainly just watching the cart with the gun. He's like the secondary sentry gun. I don't know. He usually always has crit heals. Nurse, you can play here if you're losing IT, but just know that, like, hey, there's people trying to shoot you, be it, so we may want to move. but you just don't want to move when the sniper's up. Beware when the sniper's up. When the sniper's dead, you can move more freely. You don't have to be dispenser medic as much as you think you need to be. But when you're in here, or at least in IT, I like to play here. This is really good sightline blockers. Unless he's on the ammo crate, then I'm kind of fucked. But you block completely boiler room. You basically block windows as long as you don't peek out. You're able to have your back to a wall. You're just really like terrified of the sniper coming right here and just instant owning you. So be careful of that. And also, if the sniper's playing Death Hallway. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Now, obviously, if they start trying to push in through the main tunnel, we need to rotate our combo out of IT and support our heavy and our gun. But typically, enemy team's going to try pushing through IT to get to you, to wipe you up here. Everyone's doing their part, and that is how a defensive works. Any questions?
I just need to play around that area that you're in, right? Just around that general area.
As a sniper, what?
Yes, a sniper. I need to play around like where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're here. I mean, you can go up here, be lame, but I mean, if you want, like, the sniper's dead, you can just start coming in here and trying to get angles here. You can rotate between IT and here. Just know that the further you are away from anyone and the further closer to something where the spy can decloak from, he's going to try to make a play on you. So be very wary of the spy. I mean, spies love to decloak from this room, by the way. They love doing this. I don't know. They're funny. But yeah, typically you're just playing around here, rotating to IT. There's not much for you to do here, unfortunately. You're just doing your job, shooting people if they poke their head out. I mean, obviously prioritize the enemy sniper, but also the soldier. Don't let him just spam rockets at your sentry gun. Your pyro doesn't need to stand there 24/7 reflecting. He can do other things. So as soon as you get rid of that soldier, pyro's like, oh, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Alright.
Now, here's the worst thing about third. Third can be held really effectively, and we have spawn doors to leave from, and these things will close when this cap like 2 seconds after or something. So we need to know how to leave properly, because if they cap here and we're all still here, that is not good. We cannot still be here when they cap. Why is that? Well, this closes, so you don't have a way to get the spawn. You're now isolated here, and I'm gonna point in the one direction you can leave, and then I'm gonna show you where the enemy spawn is. Yeah, it's not pretty. So biggest thing on defense third, get the fuck out. If you're losing, get the fuck out. If the card is here, you know. You don't have to hard hold this forever. I mean, if you can, and like nothing's really tempting this, but just know, like, the second they cap that cart, these things are gonna start locking, and you cannot come through them. So leave. If your NG and medic die here, it's on your team for not knowing how to get out properly and not leaving at the right time. Fourth is like sniper hell. I don't like this point at all. It is sniper hell. Tim, this is where you become the nuisance to the enemy team forever. However, Spy is going to probably farm you up here, but you can play up here. I don't know. This is just sniper's heaven, because the cart goes up this sight line, and it's just not fun. Like, you just own anything there. Your demo and your heavy can support you getting stuff there, doing stuff. Your gun's going to be probably passive here, dispenser passive. Your medic's going to be playing down here. Don't really want to play up against the shield. You can move your dispenser up to the shield, but just know that, like, you're so susceptible to bombs here. Also, by the way, every newcomer player thinks that you can shoot through this opening, but you cannot. I assure you, your foot will not get shot. And if you do stand here, probably the newcomer sniper is going to shoot your foot and then keep shooting it because he keeps thinking he misses. So I don't know. You just can't shoot underneath this fence. So don't do it. I don't want to watch a demo of you guys trying to do that. I will laugh and I'll be really sad. This is garage shutter. Really don't want the sniper to be in the window. Oh yeah, that's the window of garage. Cool. Heavy and demo just do the funny stuff. Your flank is mainly just focused on the cart, especially when it gets to here. That is like your flank's prime job. Look how much yellow tape is here, guys. If we kill them all and the cart's right here, it's gonna roll all the way back down. Remember, we don't have to give up unless we know we can't contest it, and we're getting really passive. When they start taking this area from us, that's when we should be like, oh shit, we're fighting this angle now. Let's start getting the fuck out. But this point is really hard to take if you guys play it correctly. So it like every point besides first is a hard hold. It's kind of dumb. I mean, you can get like on average. I mean, yes, the average time for a fast team is like 7 minutes is average time on every payload map, despite everything I've just said. However, I mean, my team has done this. I think the fastest we've done it is like 3 minutes and 34 seconds of Swiftwater. But you can, on average, like if the offensive team's having a really tough time taking second or taking third, and also you have a good last, you can sometimes get like easy 11-minute holds. It's pretty cool. So let's talk about last. This is like, you now have to be very, very, very communicative because they have so many openings. Now, let's talk about the openings and the defensive spots. Typically, your dispenser is going to be here, your heavy is going to be up there, your medic can sit in this corner, they can be a dispenser if they want to. I don't like running anywhere out of this area because sniper can randomly see my feet and I die because I'm dumb. Your pyro and demo are sort of supporting your NG here, but also making sure things are out of red room, being aware of that. Your gun's going to be right here. Your NG's going to be taking care of it. Your flank can sort of reside in paint can and just this general area, like by bats. Oh yeah, that's what they call this, is bats. But I also call it catwalk, so that's probably why. But they can play in red room. Like, your flank has a lot of freedom here, but you need to precipitate, or what's the right word? Relay. Maybe should use the word relay the information. Like, hey, we're playing like in red room by the pack. Playing by pack. We're not over by paint can, so we got to be understanding that. Hey, things can get through paint can if our heavy's not watching this. Usually your heavy is watching this, but the head glitch, when the cart gets below him, when he's over there, when the cart gets by the toxic barrows, your heavy and a lot of other classes, like Demo Man or someone, like, is just power to like stand on this ledge and just power, I tell you. This point, sniper, kill things in main. I don't know. You're not really that useful here. I mean, you can be, but sniper's not really.
Is it possible to hold like further up?
No. There's no point. I mean, like, eventually you will have to drop down here, or play by this when the cart's getting really close, but you can't lose players here, and you really don't want to put anyone in a really forward position because you have a chance of them dying, and then that's 20 seconds of no demo man or no sniper or no heavy. So be aware of that. We don't like doing that. But your flanks has more freedom, if anything. Like, they're allowed to like come in here, but I would never put your flank like outside by force. I'd never put your flank like, because they're just cannon fodder at that rate. But fourth can be a really good hold. We really need to understand the main ways they're going to push is through red room, through paint, and through the ramp, which is main. Sometimes teams take their Ubers here. There are three ways. The red room over there, the paint, or this ramp here. Oftentimes, the enemy team will put up level 2 guns here so that they will shoot any player that drops down. Keep that in mind. But last really is just like you got to be able to have really good comms here. You need to assess where they are pushing from at all times and communicate how to rotate our players and when to use our Uber. Uber exchanges are mandatory here, but remember, the cart is the most important thing because it is what's going to win them the game. If you guys are all distracted by everyone in paint can and the spy just sits on the cart and caps it, you guys lose. I don't care if you just went on an 8-kill streak and killed all of these guys in here. Their 9th player just capped the cart and none of you were looking at it. So that's a problem. Any questions on defense that I'm just anything would you like me to cover over a little bit more? If not, we can start on offense. Unless, do you guys have a scrim today? Because I didn't read your schedule.
Nope.
Okay, well, we're going to go. I'll try to make it like only like 20, 30 minutes more. But there's a lot to talk about Swiftwater. Unfortunately, it's a really hard map. I like it, though. That's the funny thing. We're going to talk about offense now. So, cart time is important. What I like to do is send my demo and my soldier to sort of bomb over here, do the funny, maybe fight the things on here. I don't know. Check for crit sticks. Your scout, NG, sniper, and heavy can sort of play around pushing the cart. You know, maybe your sniper can take some more aggressive angles on the tunnel to get some good. Try to kill their sniper, try to kill their demo, anyone that's outside of the tunnel entrance. Once the cart gets up this or by this yellow tape, expect them to try to like make a play against you if they have someone hiding in here. Really, like, we can send our NG in here to like just scout it out, or just one of your players who's on the cart to really just make sure there's no one here, no sneaky teleporter, you know, etc., just to make sure, because if you don't check it, and that one time you don't check it, there's a heavy waiting there, you're gonna pay it, and you're gonna lose like 10, 15 seconds off of your cart time, maybe, you know, and that could cost you the match, unfortunately. Once we get the cart going through first, they should be a light holding, they should be getting out. Your flank comes in here, your NG, your soldier, if your sniper wants to go up to your sniper has a choice. Unless the main caller specifically says, hey, I want our sniper in shutter in apartments up there, like in shutter, I guess would be the right term since you're on offense. And then you have to kind of go there, Tim. But if your team doesn't want you there, you can always come, like I said, play this main tunnel, try to get some angles, get escorted when you come over here, try to get some angles as sniper. But typically, your heavy, your demo man, your pyro, and your medic, and the sniper in most cases, will come here to fight the shutter. And now you're trying to take the shutter instead of defending the shutter. And your spy, NG, scout, soldier are all going to try to get this cart at least to here, at least to near the opening. Because that's when the gun starts getting in range, and you can no longer push the cart, obviously, when there's a gun. Remember that, guys. So that is why we shoot at it with our soldier, our mini sentry. Maybe our sniper's here. Maybe he's not. Maybe our scout. Maybe our spy has his gun. Enforcer sometimes. I often see a spy with enforcer standing here. Pew, pew, pew. Gun goes down while the soldiers pew, pew, pew. And the NGs pew, 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 pew. You know, like, you guys have to coordinate when to strike the gun. Do not just strike the gun individually, if you understand that, so that the gun can get killed instantly instead of NG taking all that damage. If you guys attack it individually, the gun's just going to get repaired, I promise. Unless he's dumb. Second is a very brutal fight. Your flank wants to try and get the gun. If they can't get the gun, it's not the end of the world, but just know getting this gun out of the way before your push is really good. Getting cart time, knowing when your players need to also be up. If your entire flank team dies and your team wants to push through shutter, no one's going to push the cart because they're all dead. Really communicate to your combo team, are we ready to push or not? Like before, or not push, but are we able to move the cart? Because I'm going to use the word push when I'm talking about the combo going through shutter. But if we're able to move the cart, we really need to communicate, hey, we're in ready to move the cart. Do you want us to start, talk to your combo team, or if you guys aren't communicative to each other, try to listen. Oh, my team's pushing through shutter. Oh, they're winning the fight. Oh, the gun's down. Hey, I'm a scout. I'm an NG. I'm a soldier. Let's start getting on this cart. Whoa, they're not shooting at us. Whoa, we kept. Whoa, we did our part. But I promise you it will not go that easily. Fortunately, this is just hell. And it may take you a couple tries to take second offensively, and you may not take it on your first time playing Swiftwater, unless you guys have played it before. But it will be difficult. Expect that. But play off of your advantages, especially Uber advantages. Knowing when the medic has used and you guys haven't, get your players in. You can't let them just, oh, we got them to use. They're just going to start building until they can get Uber again. So you really have to play and make plays. You cannot just sit there and wait for the timer to count down. The defense team wants to sit here and be like, wow, the blue team isn't pushing us. Oh, they destroyed our gun. Oh, they're still in tunnel and they're still in shutter. Okay, I sleep. So they're not going to make the first move, unfortunately. They are hoping you waste all your time trying to take second from them. It's really tough. We will probably go over it more in depth with your full team once we can get a demo review this weekend, hopefully. But let's go on to third. So
real quick before you do, could you go back to under apps and see if you can shoot medic from that doorway to your right?
What?
Okay. You can. Well, my thinking is you can probably two-tap the medic with an enforcer.
Probably not. Maybe 3, I'd say. But at that point, the medic would react. With enforcer, I mean, if no one watches
with the additional 20%.
You can get right here with enforcer and your disguise, and you can just shoot the medic. But just know that, like, if you can't hit that second shot or whatever, you're probably just gonna die. It's something. It's risky. I mean, sure, maybe not risky for you because you're kind of expected to die. But just know that, like, if you do die here, yes, you're on blue team, but you're not in position to sap the gun. You're not in position to shoot at the gun. So it's a risk and a reward sort of play.
Well, it would mean that somebody would have to come down and try to get me. Which means that there'd be one less or maybe 2 less people watching the main point. So it'd be either Pyro would come down or Demoman. That's true.
But I don't think anyone's going to chase you.
No, I wouldn't expect them to. That'd be a really dumb idea.
They will probably get to this door or spam it out, but the medic will probably move by then and stuff like that. So it's something like I'm not going to say don't do it because that's really dumb for me. Always try something, especially in these scrims, but just know that, like, hey, it worked today in this scrim. Is it going to work in the official or is it going to work in the next scrim? No, but it's sort of like a surprise play, you know?
Okay.
But just know if your team is saying, hey, Spy, can you get into position to sap, and instead you go and try to shoot the medic,
I don't know.
I think that'd be kind of not the play. So let's go to third. There's not much to talk about attacking other than it's literally countering defense, like getting your flank and your sniper in here to harass the gun and harass the players is huge. That's what your flank and your sniper is going to be trying to do. But IT push is very basic. You want to clear the sticks. You want to make sure you're clearing this, and you want to kind of use through this door into them and try to get rid of their gun. If your flank team can't get rid of it, most of the time they're not able to, and it's kind of the combo's job. Get rid of the heavy if he's here. This is like, okay, it's weird. It's more simple to talk about attacking on Swiftwater, but I'd argue it's way harder to play offensive on Swiftwater. It's so weird. Like, I don't have a lot much to say on offense because I can tell you, hey, take the point, go through here and put your flank here and do that. But unfortunately, that's not going to win you the game. And it really, like, every time they lose a player, every time their gun's not up, every time, the game status and situation changes dynamically off of red team's deaths and health or ammo. So understand that. Like, there are things you can get away with easier once certain things are down. We just have to capitalize on our advantages and their mistakes. But we will definitely do a demo review on your offensive. That's mainly what your demo review is going to focus. I think you guys will do a lot better on defense, and if you do struggle on offense, that's expected. Now, there is some stuff to talk about fourth, at least for offense-wise. The flank's going to be sort of playing in garage for the most time being, and maybe then eventually they come over here to help. But really, it's your combo trying to push up this hill and push up the cart with them. But your goal as the blue team offending is to get up to the wall or the shield. Oh yeah, this is called shield. I just called it a wall earlier. So that if your team's up here, like your heavy's in the head glitch, your demo's putting out spam, blah, blah, blah. You are putting these targets here that they now have to focus instead of shooting the people pushing the cart. That is your main goal. Now, we can't just blindly run up here as much as we want to, because the sniper needs to die on offense here. Sniper is like number one thing that kind of needs to die, because once it does die, you're a little bit more free to here. Now, expect them to bomb. Soldiers love bombing over trash pile. I don't know why. Something with trash. I don't know. Yeah. Sniper intensive. We really want to, like, play up against the shield. Get some ground here if possible, and force them into, like, back there. We really want to, like, cut them in half, like, diagonally. It's kind of weird. It's like we really want to, like, do this to them. If that makes sense. I don't know if that does, but if that makes sense, like, you want to really cut them diagonally so that they're all playing over here and here and here. Because when they're not here, they're not shooting the cart. They're not right on top of your cart pushers. So your flank can really focus. And once the cart gets over here, it's really up to your flank to push in the cart. So combo takes over when it's over here, basically. And the flank can still help here if they're not doing anything in garage. But once it, like, gets past this, like, bend of the shield and past this rock, now it's the flank's job to bring it up to here. And this is a really brutal point. They are all really brutal. They're so, like, annoying to fight against. Like, if you may find struggles in Newcomer, imagine, like, playing this map against not only, yes, your team may be really good, like, really good team in your division, and upper division and main, but, like, so is the enemy team. And it's just, I think it gets really harder in the upper divs, especially more. And it's more harder to defend, I'd say, in the upper ones. But offensive one seems to be the biggest problem for newcoming teams, because they just don't know how to push and take ground effectively. Once we sort of block them out to ramp, this is really good. My biggest pet peeve of last, if you want to push through Red Room or push through Paint Can, never, as the combo team, go bats. Never. But you're like, Dent, that's the fastest way to Paint Can. I don't care. Send your heavy, send your pyro, I don't know, send one of them. jump up here, try not to die through the sniper, open the shutter, we come in through here, we come to red room. Why would we not want to go through bats over there is because the funny heavy weapons guy, well, he can see over this because he's taller, will instantly see you and instantly start peppering you down. However, pretend the heavy is still there. But we come here with our heavy, and our heavy gets the full buff, and our demo can put out some spam, fully revved into the heavy, and we kill the heavy instantly. Peeker's advantage. That is one way. Instead of trying to fight this heavy where he wants you to fight is this bats area. He wants to take this angle against you as the heavy if you're walking over here. But if we want to get to paint can and we want to do something like not through red room, we really need to make sure the heavy's dead, the sniper's dead as well, or maybe just like spam out the sniper, but make sure that heavy's gone. Then we can rotate over to paint and you're Gucci, I guess. You're just good. Like, instead of just taking all this damage, like, especially since defense, a lot of heavies will run Brass Beast right here because they literally don't move until the cart is affected. Flank's job is really just to get as much cart pressure as they can. As a soldier, you can opt to fight with the combo and spam out things. Your NG's going to try to maybe set up the guns. You're just going to try. Your spy is also helping to cap this. But trying to get it here and taking care of the gun is the flank's like goal as much as they can. But really what's going to get rid of the gun in there and break their defense is a demo Uber through red room. Crazy. I mean, even your pyro here is insane because like your pyro has this thing called air blast, and if you just shove everyone down into the pit, they're kind of fucked. And you take the high ground from them. Get rid of the sentry gun, get rid of the players up here. But if you see them by the ledge, just air blast them in. That is a really huge thing. It's like now not only are you shooting down at them, but now your flank team over here is also shooting at them. So they're just taking multiple damage sources, pretty much. And that can work. Coming through ramp, like I said, just expect like this to not really work. Now, paint can work, but we really want to work our players into paint first and really work our like sniper here. Sniper can start getting so many headshots, it's insane. And if our sniper goes here when our combo's playing red room and he's just escorting here, no one calls him out, like he can just bam, medic is headshotted, dead, or body shotted even. So any questions on offensive? We can definitely go over more with your demo because I really want to see how you guys offensively push on Swiftwater, because then we can correct errors and we can come up with better ideas. And once I have your full team here, we can really talk. I want suggestions and ideas. I may shut down 90% of them, but I don't want that to turn you away, because ideas are ideas. However, I will not say that you're always wrong. It's more of just, let's try to approach this in a different way. Any questions on offense last, or any other points maybe you want me to go back over? If not, I think I'm gonna call it here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired. But got off college. It's not work this time, but I got off of college, so break a leg. I think you guys will do good. You guys are pretty strong on upward, and it looks like you. So we'll definitely fit in a demo review. Thank you for showing up. To the people who didn't show up, please try to relay the information. If any of you were recording, that'd be really cool. If not, no worries. I didn't ask.
They're gonna have the recording. So. Don't worry.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, shoot me any ideas, spur up about Swiftwater. I'd say go check out how Swiftwater is played. Like, go try to find like a Highlander Swiftwater game on YouTube. No joke. And you can sort of see it from maybe one of the classes' perspective, or if they casted one of them an invite, you can see how it's played. really recommend, if any videos to watch, would be like of games of the higher divisions just to see how they play. Obviously, comparing yourself to an invite player is really unpractical and irrational, sorry. But just you could take a few things away from them, you know, to get an understanding. But I'm not going to hold you any longer. I apologize. It took longer than expected. You're free to leave now. Ask any questions. If not, I'm going to go.
I have a question.
Okay.
What exactly is like the most important thing for flying to do if like they fail their first part on the defensive? Like they're able to destroy the gun, we're forced to fall back. Like how do we reestablish, or like what exactly would you recommend doing?
So, if your gun goes down on apartments or catwalk, I guess, really like you need to now just make sure that like you can talk to your spy and your scout since you're the soldier. Really need to just start grouping up, maybe by mansion, maybe by like the point itself, to just try to take that little area between the two side tunnel and main tunnel. Because your whole goal at that point is like stopping the cart. Because now the gun's down, they're gonna start pushing the cart. So you really just want to not feed in one by one. Especially if your scout just dies, you need to know that like, whoa, he just died. He's gonna respawn in like 20 seconds. But if I die in the next 20 seconds, he's gonna be up with no soldier. So you can't really offset. What, Tim?
358 megabits down. I'm supposed to be getting 500, bruh.
Alright, keep clicking on those heads. Don't know
Well,
what you said.
so here's the issue. I intended on uploading this, right? I've got 320 down, 14 up. That's not good. That is really bad.
Man, I'm out. See y'all.
Peace.
See you. Alright, I'm gonna be heading out, possibly. I don't know. Thanks for joining my TED Talk.